Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a man named Samuel. Samuel was known throughout the village for his kindness and generosity. He had a beautiful garden that he took great care of, and it was the envy of everyone in the village. Samuel grew the most vibrant flowers, the tastiest fruits, and the luscious vegetables. But what made Samuel truly special was that he shared the bounty of his garden with anyone who needed it. One hot summer's day, a traveler passed through the village. He was tired, hungry, and had no money. He knocked on Samuel's door and asked for a small meal. Without hesitation, Samuel welcomed the traveler into his home and offered him a delicious feast made from the produce of his garden. The traveler was overwhelmed by Samuel's kindness and asked, "Why are you so generous with your garden's harvest? Don't you worry about not having enough for yourself?" Samuel smiled and replied, "My friend, I've always believed that the more you give, the more you receive. I share the abundance of my garden because it brings joy to my heart. I've never gone hungry, for in my acts of kindness, I've found true wealth." The traveler was deeply moved by Samuel's words and his generosity. He stayed in the village for a few days and helped Samuel tend to his garden. In return, Samuel taught him the art of gardening, the patience required to nurture life from the soil, and the joy of giving without expecting anything in return. As the traveler left the village, he was a changed man. He carried with him not only the knowledge of gardening but also the valuable lesson of generosity he had learned from Samuel. He went on to share the same kindness and knowledge with others in his journey. Word of Samuel's generous nature and the beautiful garden spread far and wide. People from distant lands came to visit him, not just for the beauty of his garden but to learn from his wisdom about the importance of giving and sharing. And so, the legacy of Samuel, the generous gardener, lived on, not only in the colorful blooms of his garden but in the hearts of all those he had touched with his kindness. The village became known for its generosity and caring community, proving that the more you give, the more you receive, not just in material wealth but in the richness of the human spirit. The moral lesson of this story is that true wealth and fulfillment come from acts of kindness, generosity, and sharing. Samuel, the generous gardener, demonstrated that by giving from the heart, one can enrich their own life and the lives of others. The story emphasizes that the more you give, the more you receive, not only in material wealth but also in the richness of the human spirit.